like to call to order the City of St. Charles City Council meeting for Monday, June 2nd. Roll call, please.
Folk?
Here.
Bogart?
Here.
Munn? Here. Gem?
Here.
Spellman? Petrilla?
Here.
Wirball?
Here.
Besser?
Here.
Weber?
Here.
Kulkaitis?
Here.
Okay, we'll begin with the invocation, and Alderman Gem, will you please give tonight's invocation?
Good evening. Gracious and compassionate Lord, we seek your mercy, grace, and healing for the St. Charles families that were devastated by the tragic loss of a 5-year-old son, grandson, or cousin this past week. We seek your guidance and discernment in our meeting this evening as issues are discussed and decisions are made, so that the best interests of the City of St. Charles are considered as we strive to be a welcoming, safe, and respectful community for all. Please keep safe our police, fire, EMTs, and all first responders, as all the summer activities are well underway. Watch over our public services, employees, and contractors as the work to improve our city with projects kicking off this week. Bless and guide our mayor, elected and appointed officials, city staff, and all city employees as they strive to make St. Charles the best place to live, work, and visit. Amen.
All set, thank you. Alderman Munn, if you could lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance, please.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Mr. Rebecca Stolick, please come on up. We have a couple proclamations tonight, and so we're going to start out with the first one is Gun Violence Awareness Day, and it reads as follows. Whereas every day, 125 Americans are killed by gun violence, and on average there are more than 13,000 gun homicides every year, and whereas Americans are 25 times more likely to die by gun homicides than people in other high-income countries. And whereas cities across the nation, including the City of St. Charles, are working to end the senseless violence with evidence-based solutions. And whereas support for the Second Amendment rights of law-abiding citizens goes hand in hand with keeping guns away from people with dangerous histories. And whereas to help honor Hadia Pendleton, a teenager who was shot and killed January of 2013, and more than 100 Americans whose lives are cut short every day due to gun violence. And whereas the National Coalition of Organizations has designated the first Friday in June as National Gun Violence Awareness Day. Whereas today we renew our commitment to reduce gun violence and pledge to do all we can to keep firearms out of the wrong hands and encourage responsible gun ownership to help keep our children safe. Now, therefore, be it resolved that I, Clint Hall, Mayor of the City of St. Charles, declare June 6, 2025 to be National Gun Violence Awareness Day in St. Charles. I encourage all citizens to wear orange to raise awareness about gun violence and honor the lives of gun violence victims and survivors, and to support local efforts to prevent the tragic offense of gun violence. Thank you very much for being here today.
Okay. No problem. Okay. Hello. Thank you, Mayor Hull and City Council, for recognizing Wear Orange Day, also known as National Gun Violence Awareness Day. I'm Rebecca Slowick, and I'm a volunteer in the Kane and Kendall Counties chapter of Moms Demand Action, a national grassroots movement of Americans working for public safety measures to protect people from gun violence. We work closely with Be Smart, an organization focused on preventing intentional and unintentional firearm tragedies via secure gun storage, which is the most effective way to prevent gun violence tragedies. As a local chapter, we are purposely working with community members and organizations on initiatives to promote secure storage and educate families on how to keep children safe, a point that undoubtedly we can all agree on. Wear Orange Day was originally started by the loved ones of Hadia Pendleton, a teenager who was shot and killed in Chicago in January 2013. This year, Hadia would be celebrating her 28th birthday. Young persons like Hadia should not face gun violence, and no family, no friends, no loved ones should experience this kind of loss. I can tell you firsthand that this type of loss is unimaginable as someone who has lost a friend in a mass shooting, and it remains with you for life. Though we know that work remains to be done to continue to keep children safe from gun violence, I am grateful to the City of St. Charles for recognizing Wear Orange Day, and in doing so, recognizing victims and survivors like Hadia and her loved ones. This recognition matters and is appreciated. Further, I believe that we can all agree that the best way to honor gun violence victims and survivors is to do our best to prevent future tragedies. On that note, I want to thank the City Council, the St. Charles Police Department, Kane County Sheriff's Department, and all others who help keep us safe. Those who work to prevent incidents aren't often recognized until there is an incident. So with that, thank you again for your recognition and support.
And I just want to note, thank you so much for being here. I'm looking into the audience. I'm seeing our police here, and I'm seeing a former state's attorney, and Joe McMahon, who is our Kane County state's attorney for over 10 years. Mr. McMahon saw firsthand and protected and worked to protect our community as our police does every day. So on behalf of the city, Mr. McMahon, and to our police, thank you very much for everything you do every day. All right, next up, I'm going to ask Ms. Samantha to come on up. And the next proclamation is going to be the LGBTQIA+ Pride Month, and I'm going to read it as follows. Whereas the city of St. Charles, Illinois enjoys the title of Pride of the Fox, in part because it celebrates the diversity of the people who live, work, and visit St. Charles. And whereas all visitors and members of our community should feel safe, welcome, valued, respected, included, and supported by fellow citizens, educators, and community leaders. And whereas LGBTQIA+ residents and their allies have made a visible, positive contribution to the quality of life in St. Charles. And whereas throughout history, the LGBTQIA+ people have faced and continue to face prejudice and discrimination. And whereas the city of St. Charles stands behind our country's founding principles of equal rights, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness for all people, and whereas in recognition of the demonstrations known as the Stonewall Uprising in June of 1969, the month of June is traditionally recognized as Pride Month in the United States and the state of Illinois. Now, therefore, I, Clint Hall, Mayor of St. Charles, in partnership and support with the Equity and Inclusion Commission of the City of St. Charles, do hereby proclaim the month of June 2025 a LGBTQIA+ Pride Month in the City of St. Charles, and call upon the residents of our community to celebrate the great diversity of St. Charles, work together to break down the walls of discrimination, intolerance, and lack of understanding, and to promote full equal rights for all Americans, regardless of sexual orientation or gender identity. And be it further resolved that the City of St. Charles will raise and has raised a rainbow flag for the month of June 2025 as a sign of the City of St. Charles' support for the principles of LGBTQIA+ Pride. Signed, Clint Hall, Mayor of St. Charles.
Thank you. I didn't prepare anything, but I just want to thank Mayor Hall and also the whole City Council for voting yes on this event and for supporting it. If anybody was there, we just had it from 4 to 6 p.m. today, and there's no way to count all of the people that came, but we are guessing it was over 300. We had people of all ages. We had all kinds of activities and freebies, and we had karaoke, we had youth, we had young children, we had adults. We had a food truck. It was a great event. I don't think it could have gone any better. And I also want to thank, I'm so sorry that I can't remember the police officer's name that was there, but he was there the whole time and was so helpful and so kind to be there, as we did have a few people that were potentially trying to make disruptions, but nothing happened and the event went well, and we got so many really beautiful comments from people who were there and were touched. And so we just all, as a community, we'd like to thank the City Council and Mayor Hall for supporting this event and for attending. Thank you so much.
Okay, Alderman Silkaitis, I would ask if you would present the omnibus items for a vote, please.
Thank you. I'd like to make a motion to approve the omnibus vote as presented.
Second.
Okay, motion and a second. Any discussion? Roll call?
Folk,
Yes.
Bongard,
Yes.
Munn, yes, Gem,
Yes.
Spellman,
Yes.
Petrilla,
Yes.
Wirball,
Yes.
Besser,
Yes.
Weber,
Yes.
Kulkaitis.
Yes. Okay, there is no old business. There is no new business, so we will move on to committee reports. We will start with Government Operations. Alderman Weber, any items from Government Operations Committee?
Yeah, yes, Mayor Hall. I just have item A1. I would like to make a motion to approve a proposal for a B1 liquor license application for Faux Lee St. Charles LLC, doing business as Faux Lee, located at 305 West Main Street, St. Charles.
Second.
Okay, there's been a motion and a second. Is there any comments or questions? Okay, roll call.
Folks?
Yes.
Bongard?
Yes.
Munn? Yes. Gem?
Yes.
Spellman?
Yes.
Petrola?
Yes.
Wirball?
Yes.
Spencer?
Yes.
Weber?
Yes.
Kulturitis?
No.
Okay, that motion passes. Moving on to Government Services. Alderman Bongard, are there any items for the Government Services Committee?
Nothing further, Your Honor.
Okay, now turning to Alderman Wirball. Are there any items from the Planning and Development Committee?
Nothing further, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you. Now turning to public comment. Does anybody wish to make any public comments? Please step up. Remember, if you could get real close to the microphone so everybody can hear you, and if you could please just state your full name, spelling your last name, please.
Thank you. My name is Alicia Hahn, Hann, and I am the Family and Community Engagement Specialist with Birth to Five Illinois, King County. Birth to Five Illinois is a nonprofit organization that is in every community in the state of Illinois, whose mission is to support communities, build and sustain access to inclusive, high-quality early childhood education and care services. My role specifically is to listen to families about their successes and challenges with services in King County, including the School District 303. We take that information that they share with us to inform decision makers, organizations, and that looks like reports, documents, and community meetings that we hold. We have a family council member who is from this community, is from this town, and I really wanted to learn more about St. Charles, so that's why I'm here, so that you can know who Birth to Five Illinois is, but more importantly, so that I can be here to listen what you have to share and discuss about your community. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you so much. Any other public comment? Mr. Lemke, if you could please state your first and last name.
Yes, Arthur Lemke, 3214 Blackhawk Trail here in the city of St. Charles. I'd been approached by a door-to-door salesman selling solar panels who was unaware that we have a city electric company, and he said he could make my ComEd bill disappear. If that wasn't enough, then I've also received from Kane County, one of the offices in Kane County, unknown to their Kane County Board. I checked with Kane County Board, a letter saying once again the incentives for converting to solar panels. So what I was only going to say is there anything residents can do if approached by a solar panel salesman, a door-to-door salesman for solar panels? So I think maybe some communication needs to go out to residents about potential sales of solar panels. So I'll have this. Okay.
Thank you very much, Mr. Lemke. Okay. Ms. Weibel, good to see you.
Good to see you. Good evening, Mr. Mayor and Council. I'm here in front of you, Carolyn Weibel, sorry, to speak to you about our item number 6, an omnibus that you so appreciatively passed. Thank you so much for that. That was about our farmers market, which has been moved to a new location, to the old police station parking lot. I'm here actually on behalf of Rob Murphy, who I'm partnered with, to help him coordinate the new location and help him coordinate the market relaunch. So I just wanted to address a comment that was a question that was asked 2 weeks ago. I was out of state, but I was on the call. Someone had asked about insurance, so I just wanted to make sure that you all are aware that each vendor is responsible for their own insurance and is presented upon their application. So just to clarify that point, that is taken care of. And I do think that Ms. McGuire did mention that she thought it was taken care of, but I want to confirm that all for you. This year we do have over 25 vendors at this point. We're still confirming the list and finalizing it. We're a little bit last minute because of the confirmation. So some of our advertising will be a little bit later, but we will start to coordinate with the St. Charles Business Alliance, and we look forward to that partnership for our advertisement, as well as we're doing some of our own advertisement this year with some of the, I can't remember what they're called, they're like a weird name, the banners that go like this. So we're going to be doing those as well, and some sandwich boards and some social media. So that's where I come in and helping with those. So Mr. Murphy could not be here tonight, and he very much appreciates your support in continuing his efforts to help relaunch the market. And I do think we're going to have a more successful market this year, and look forward to all the people it will bring to St. Charles. So thank you for your time.
Great. Thank you very much. Good to see you. Any other public comment?
Hi there. My name is Michael Nelson, Nelson. I wanted to get up and echo something that was said already, but as a public, as a civilian, I wanted to commend the Equity Commission. I wanted to commend the Equity Commission and thank the council for voting yes for the event that we just had today. I just wanted to make sure to say thank you for the importance of this event. It legitimately is a way to feel safe and to feel included in this community, that there is no need to suppress portions of ourselves and our personality, and thank you for that opportunity to feel like it is okay to fully be ourselves. I wanted to also echo and call out thank you to the high school students who came up here at the government operations meeting. I was not in attendance to it, but the words that they spoke as well speak to the deep importance that it is to support people expressing and being themselves. As part of myself, this queer community, I look forward next year to what we can do to continue this tradition. Thank you all very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Any other public comments? Sweno?
Hi, my name is Josh Epperly, and I'm native of St. Charles. And I met Mr. Gem the other day, and I just want to say hello. And I just wanted to make a quick community announcement. And what it is that we are going to be exhibiting a film here at the Arcata in about a week and a half. It's a week from this coming Wednesday. And this is a movie that I wrote and produced and have done all the advertising and designed all of the graphics with. And so I wanted to just make a general announcement that I would hope to give you out a couple invites and see if anybody could maybe pass this word along to teachers, friends, anybody who's involved with education. So just quickly, the film is about, it's a 10-year-old detective searching for his big sister here in St. Charles, and I filmed it here. And so this is, to some degree, some kind of celebration of the fact that the Fox Valley in St. Charles has some very special qualities. And I've been living in the West Coast for decades, and I'm back here. And I know that all of us have had the experience of, we have loved ones, kids, grandkids, grandchildren, nieces, nephews, and the experience of devices, phones, tablets, and having to struggle and fight over this. And so I wrote a story about a little boy who's able to resort to, let's say, classic detective methods of research and study and building his intuition and his critical thinking around finding his sister. So it's a little bit of a degree, there's some degree of a public service element to the movie with regard to the thought that we're all dealing with the young ones, and that we need to be really aware of safety and technology in children. And that I wanted to, also the movie is really a portrait of a depressed boy who's missing his role model. So it's a very simple story about courage and friendship and just the sense of helping protect the community, helping protect friends, in a sense of just a general sense of safety and trust and community. And I've moved back here in the last 5 years. And I'd like to say that this is a wonderful place to live and to be. I grew up here. I went to school in Chicago. I studied writing, and in the last 2 years of having moved back here, in contrast to many other places I've lived or just different experiences, that this is a really sort of a wonderful place to raise family, and that kids can be safe, and that there's a general sense of everybody wanting to contribute to that. So I'd like to think this movie is to some degree a celebration of that, and I'd like to ask you all to come to it. I have some tickets. I have some cool like little passes and posters and stuff. And so just looking for a little bit of community support, and anybody, again, with just friends or teachers, kids and families. It's going to be like a fun, upbeat event. So balloons and bubbles and like, grandkids and the whole family. So, and it's PG-rated. It's a very family-friendly movie. I'm very proud to say there's not a single cuss word, no violence, no guns, nothing like that. So I wanted to make something that was very counter to what we see in Hollywood, and very counter to what is sort of prevalent in mainstream entertainment. And sort of to myself, and I'll be done in a moment, but just to harken back to a time when certain things that I watched ended up being like having a nutritious value that were inspiring, that I left there with something I could hang on to. So that's what I'm attempting to achieve with this. And so I'm going to give you guys a couple passes, and thank you so much for hearing me out, and thank you everybody.
Thank you very much. We love the fact that you're back in St. Charles.
Oh, thank you, sir.
Sounds like Encyclopedia Brown.
And one of my favorite detective series as a kid.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Exactly, sir.
Fantastic. Well, thank you.
Thank you.
Before we close, just a couple of comments on my end. Number one, the municipal building tower will be lit orange all weekend in support of the National Gun Violence Awareness Day. Second, Father's Day is coming up on June 15th, so everybody enjoy their Father's Day. Couple things just St. Charles-wise that I want to comment on. First, we did lose a member of the Greco family. We all heard about the 5-year-old. And I just ask if we could here just observe a moment of silence on behalf of the family. Okay, thank you. And what I want to say is to our entire community, when something like that happens, it impacts all of us, and it did impact all of St. Charles. I also always need to be aware, and we always need to be aware of not only the impact it has on the family, but the impact on our first responders. I want to say thank you to the St. Charles Police Department and the St. Charles Fire Department for the work that you did, and know that not only our thoughts and prayers with the family, but our thoughts and prayers are with the responding officers, and we appreciate everything that your departments did to try to assist in the situation. Next up, one of the things, as I approach my 30th day in office, people ask me all the time, tell me the favorite things that you have about being a mayor. So I just wanted to share some things that just made me smile in the last couple of weeks. Number one, when we had Memorial Day, what an incredible display of patriotism and support by our community. I look around and so many people that were at the parade, so many people that were at the ceremony, so many people that were there just to show respect for our veterans and in memory of the people that served. And so it made me very proud to be the mayor that day. Next up, high school graduations. We had St. Charles East and St. Charles North graduate, and it's always one of those things that we have a number of St. Charles graduates up here, but such an impressive group of kids. My goal as mayor, and I think our goal as city council, is we want them to come back. And so excited to see all the graduation signs and all the smiles. And so congratulations to all our seniors on that. And then a couple other things that just made me smile. One was, and this did not make Public Works smile, but I was coming home from playing pickleball on Memorial Day at 1 in the afternoon to see water bubbling up from Main Street. But when I saw water bubbling up from Main Street, I also saw St. Charles Public Workers out there on a holiday, digging up the concrete, putting signs up on doors, and working for the next 24 hours to make sure that that was addressed, just like they did. So it was Memorial Day. I stopped to say hi to those guys, and they said, this is what we do, to the team. And so that was just, again, something that I don't think I appreciate enough. So Peter, to your crew again, thank you. And then I think my favorite part of being mayor was I was over there talking at the fire department, saw a family come up and look at the fire trucks. The fire department officials I was talking to quickly ignored me and went right to the kids and asked if they wanted to step up and see the trucks. And the smiles and laughs from the kids as they took them into the fire, as well as the police, or as well as the parents, just in disbelief that you guys would do that, I think is just what makes St. Charles so special. So thanks for letting me share kind of my first, kind of some fun memories in my first 30 days. I'm looking forward to another 30. And with that, I'd like a motion to adjourn.
So moved. Second.
And I think, any discussion, comments?
Oh, sorry.
All right.
Painting the Riverside was fun too.
You know what, and you know what, I just forgot. I wanted to ask you guys if you guys had anything that you wanted to add. So Ed, go ahead.
Painting the Riverside, I think this is the third or fourth year they've done it. The design always comes out incredible. It's a great team effort to really stencil out the design, and it's not easy with kids running around with paint, but somehow it always gets done. And I had the opportunity to be there with Jamie and Clint at the time, Mayor Clint, sorry, to do it again this year. We had a good time.
That was awesome. You know what? I'm just going to run down. Steve, give me something makes you proud to be from St. Charles.
Well, definitely, you already touched on it, but just being a veteran myself, the Memorial Day Parade is a big thing. The old timers that served our country a long time ago, some of them when they originally came back, they weren't accepted that much, because of what they did. But now, showing respect in the way that we do as a community, I think is really important. It's important for the kids to see that as well. Extremely important for the kids because they don't know what's going on. So for them to see that and to see their parents support it, it's really important for the community. So.
Yeah, awesome. Brian?
Memorial Day Parade. Just echo a lot of Steve's comments, but it's good to see a few of the World War II guys out there still. So my grandfather fought in World War II, so it's good to pay their respects, and yeah, it was great to be there.
So three World War II vets, 99, 100, and 101,
yep.
right?
Yep.
So, David?
Yeah, the parade as well.
All right, you can't say the parade.
I have others, but that's what I want to start with, and because I have family as well. But I also have family in the police and fire department, the services as well, not our fire department. So I've shadowed the fire department recently, and since being in office and the police, and I think that's pretty cool that they trust us to and to be able to hang out with them and know what they do. And I've always appreciated what they do, but it makes it more special, of course, when you get to witness it. So
thank you for sharing, Vicki.
I'm proud of our Pride event that we were able to have today, and proud of the two proclamations that we did today. Really glad that we were able to support both of those issues.
Thank you very much. Mr. Gem?
Lots to think about have already been mentioned, but kudos again to police and fire for all the support you guys do in all the events that happen. And I know summer's just starting, as I mentioned earlier, so I know you guys will be on your toes for the next couple of months before school resumes again. And then public services just do a phenomenal job. And I personally, when I see them out there, I stop. And so I saw Tim Wilson and Matt Wilson tearing down a hole on Dean Street the other day. And I just had to stop and say, well, why are those guys out there doing it? And they said, well, because the engineers didn't want to do it. So kudos to Tim and to Matt, and I believe it was Gavin that filled in, and they were doing it for a water main replacement that needs to happen on Dean Street. So I appreciate it, Peter, and let the guys know.
Fantastic. Jamie?
I have a couple of things. So one, you brought up the water main situation. Also, I woke up the other morning to a knock on the door from a neighbor who told us that we had a water main break on our street. They had already driven by the municipal center and flagged down someone from Public Works, so there was already a truck on our street. I drove by a few hours later, and Tim Wilson was already on the street with the crew, taking care of it. I was on my way to a meeting here. They're just wonderful guys. They did a wonderful job, took care of my neighbors. Everyone was happy. I already commended Peter. I ran into him in the building. It's just nice to know that they're taking care of our neighbors. The Painting the Riverside was great. I also enjoyed the art fair. That was really nice to have the street closed down for all of those people walking through the neighborhoods. I know that the restaurants did really well, that were over there when people are on foot, and it's nice to have that protected space to be walking around in. And for me, the Memorial Day ceremonies all around were great. The parade was nice, but the flag raising was especially special for me. I got to bring my son, who has recently just joined the Wyoming National Guard. He came in uniform, and I think the most impactful thing for me was when a World War II veteran came up and shook his hand and thanked him for his service. That was very odd for him, but he felt really proud of what he is doing, and he was very thankful that he was able to be part of that. So,
thanks, Jamie. Ryan?
So I can't use public works, public safety. So I guess I would say, to my 9 colleagues, to the 10 city council members, obviously, to the mayor and to city staff, this is by all intents and purposes, a part-time position that, we all offered our services for. But I think just the amount of time that the 11 of us dedicate to this, nobody calls, their alderman when things are going great. Nobody calls the mayor's office when it's like, things are just fantastic. More times than not, you're dealing with really serious situations, and, we all have full-time jobs, families like everybody else, but I'm incredibly appreciative of the interaction, the commitment, the I'll call it collaboration between this group in willing to tackle the different questions, challenges, projects. Nobody has a crystal ball, and I think everybody up here is trying to come at it, to do their best, and I'm appreciative of that. So,
thank you, Mark.
I got a couple to echo Alderperson Munns. The flag raising in the morning is kind of special to me because my dad's a member of the Color Guard, so it's always fun to see him out there with a gun, see if he can still got it, that type of thing. And but the other is, I'm always amazed this time of year, as the year comes to an end, like the amount of talented youth we have in our community, whether it is, if you ever get a chance to go up to our East or North band performance, please do so, or East or North play, please do so. Athletics have been off the charts for both schools lately. Some programs are still playing. They had a wonderful soccer game last week that did not go the way I wanted, but went the way Mr. Sir wanted back there. But just even the community, when they were both there, how supportive they are of each other, but the talent level of our youth in this town through their athletics, through their academics. I wish some of you could hear some of these kids' grade point averages when they announce a Worth Gustafson Award winner for each sport, and you look at their GPA, it'll blow your mind what our youth really can do. We have some very talented youth, and to your point, anything we can do to keep them in St. Charles would be great, but if you get a chance to do those things in the future, you'll be very proud of the youth that we have in town.
And Mr. Silkaitis, thanks.
There's nothing left. There's no subject. No, well, I just want to thank all the longtime residents in St. Charles. There are a few of us here tonight who grew up here. And I just think it's a great town to live in. I have no plans to move anywhere else, even though I got a big house and just me and my wife in there. But yeah, just a great town to live in, great people, great staff, great residents, everybody. I couldn't be more proud of St. Charles, and I'm just happy to be here. Thank you.
That's a wonderful way to end the meeting for tonight. So, any other questions, comments? Roll call.
Folks?
Yes.
Conger?
Yes.
Munn?
Yes.
Gem?
Yes.
Spellman?
Yes.
Petrulla?
Yes.
Wirball?
Yes.
Besser?
Yes.
Weber?
Yes.
Kulkaitis?
Yes.
All right, so that ends the city council meeting. We're now going to just take a brief recess while we switch over, and Councilmember Weber can take the chair.